and you don't get to a big agreement without having a lot of small agreements.
Now on KGW News at noon, thousands of Providence employees are preparing to hit the picket lines and what could be the state's largest healthcare workers strike. Plus, fire officials are warning people about the dangers of charging your batteries improperly after one family lost their home. And later.
What are you guys looking forward to the most?
A win.
A win.
It is the granddaddy of them all. A look ahead at one of the most exciting matchups in college football this season at the 2025 Rose Bowl.
When it's day in, day out, month after month, day after day, week after week, it starts to wear on you and it starts to get really draining.
Our top story now at noon. Doctors at 8 Providence hospitals are preparing to strike early in the new year. It would mark the first doctor strike in Oregon history. Thank you for joining us. I'm China Green. Nearly 5,000 doctors and other healthcare workers are scheduled to strike on January 10th. And new today, Oregon Senator Ron Wyden voiced his support for the healthcare workers. He posted this to his account on X, formerly Twitter, saying that they deserve fair wages and working conditions. One of the key issues, according to doctors and nurses, is the lack of staff, which they say has led to delays in patient care. Providence Health says it's making arrangements for if the strike happens.
We are taking a strike notice as people at their word saying they're going to do something. It would be irresponsible of us to not focus on how we would take care of patients during that eventuality.
With the strike looming, Providence says it plans to stop bargaining until January 10th and focus on patients. Taking a step outside with this live look from our Salem sky cam. There was a lot of fog out there this morning. You could barely see the Capitol, but it looks like it's cleared out this morning. Definitely clear here around the city.
Yeah, we've got sun over downtown. The fog has lifted into a low cloud deck in Salem, and that's why the temperature is quite a bit cooler. It's 37 right now in Salem. Downtown Portland, we've got the high overcast from our next storm system already coming in, but the low clouds and the fog have lifted. 43 last check at PDX for the breezes out of the east in response to developing low pressure offshore. We take you out to the Dalles. Can't even make out Mount Hood there in the distance as the cloud cover and the fog that was there has kind of lifted into a low cloud deck that's not really looking to go anywhere anytime soon. Still, we have some issues with visibility right now. Half-mile visibility in Aurora, 1-mile visibility right now in the Salem area. And the visible satellite imagery shows kind of a race between the low clouds and fog burning off and the high clouds from our next weather maker already rolling in. And I'll take you to we'll throw the radar imagery on here. The leading edge of this, the bark is worse than the bite. This is not reaching the ground just yet, but the atmosphere is starting to moisten up a bit here, and that's the next plume of moisture that's heading our way. So rain in the forecast later today, probably getting into the metro area around dinner time or shortly after sunset. So I've got rain developing around 5 o'clock-ish with temperatures holding steady in the mid-40s and then slowly dropping. All right, for tonight. Heading out on the town for New Year's Eve festivities. It will be rainy, not terribly heavy rain and not continuous rain, but there will be rain in the air with temperatures hovering right around 40 degrees or so at midnight. I'll walk you through that, what New Year's Day looks like, and of course, if you got any travel plans or ski plans, we do have snow headed back to the higher terrain. More on that in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. The Salem police are asking for your help finding a vehicle that may have been involved in a deadly hit and run on December 23rd. So here's a look at their surveillance video. Police say that white SUV was near the scene at Murlark Avenue and Edgewater Street around 8:30 that night. The victim, Stephen Bishop, died at the scene. Investigators believe this vehicle in question is a white Jeep Grand Cherokee, possibly a 2015 or 2016 model. Anyone with information should contact Salem police. We're learning more about the woman who is accused of boarding a Delta flight at SeaTac Airport without a boarding pass. According to court documents, the suspect bypassed the ID check at security by ducking under a station. After clearing security, she made it on the flight by walking behind another passenger at the gate counter. She was caught on board before the flight took off. She now faces charges, including criminal trespass.
Keep going. Stop.
All right, now to a close call. A new video from LAX after a private charter flight carrying the Gonzaga men's basketball team taxied too close to an active runway right as the larger Delta jet took off. The FAA says the jet crossed the holding point but stopped short of the edge of the runway. In a statement, Gonzaga University says it's grateful the incident ended safely for everyone. Authorities are now investigating. A family of 5 and their pets have been forced from their Hillsborough home after a massive fire. The Hillsborough fire inspector determined that the cause was a battery being charged inside their garage. Here's KGW's Emma McCarty with more.
Monday afternoon, charred debris still covers the front lawn of this home on Southeast Cypress Street in Hillsborough.
We work hard for Christmas time, and have all your kids' stuff gone. Doesn't feel good.
The wreckage, the result of a Saturday morning fire that began inside the garage.
The chief told me that we had, after looking at the fire and everything, he said we had maybe 60 seconds to get out of there. If we had 60 seconds left to be in the house, or me, her, and my son would have been gone.
Rebecca Aguila Sifke and her husband, Sean, recalled the terrifying moments waking up to smoke.
And he just shot up and ran downstairs.
Opened the garage door and I saw like a lot of smoke in there, and then so I went back upstairs and got everybody out of the house.
When they opened the garage door, they were met with a wall of flames and the realization that their pets were still stuck inside.
I tried to go back to get the pets, and then the police and firefighters were there by that time, but they grabbed me and stopped me from going in.
And the cause of all this, later confirmed by fire investigators, was the failure of a battery on a charger.
So we're supposed to go to the mountain. We were going up to the mountain that day actually, and I was charging a battery for go-karts and mini bikes and stuff like that. So I was just charging the battery, and that's exactly where the fire started.
Nowadays, lithium-ion batteries are a common cause of fires.
Hillsborough firefighter paramedic Josh Wilson says these batteries contain a lot of power. And while it's not exactly clear what happened with this one, he says not every battery you buy may live up to the same safety standards.
That batteries that are inexpensive sometimes don't have those don't go through as much rigorous safety stuff, so they can have failures and basically go into like a thermal runaway and create heat, get hot, and then cause a fire.
Firefighters recommend buying certified batteries, using an appropriate charger, and always charging them in a safe location away from anything flammable.
I heard about fires from them before, but now that experiencing it, it's totally different.
Now safe at a nearby Airbnb, the family told us they're grateful for the crews that rescued their precious pets.
They saved all of our animals.
Yeah, they kept bringing them.
Turtles,
a lizard,
lizards, hamster, and 4 dogs. So we got them all here right now.
Again, that was Emma McCarty reporting. Although they have some insurance, there are many upfront costs to handle all of this, and they don't believe that they'll be able to move back for months. That's why they started up a GoFundMe, the family that is, and an Amazon wish list as well. We'll have links to those in our story up on KGW.com. A new year means new laws will be going into effect tomorrow, so I'm going to walk you through a few of them here. In Oregon, that includes harsher penalties for drug use on public transit. The right to repair law, which forces equipment manufacturers like Apple to provide all the necessary repair tools to consumers and independent repair shops. Another big one, bill caps on insulin, which limits the out-of-pocket cost of insulin for someone with insurance to $35 for a month's supply. Also new this year, school bus safety cameras to catch drivers illegally passing buses. And school boards will also now be required to record and make meetings public. In Washington, a new law will inflict harsher penalties for negligent drivers that cause the death of a pedestrian. The state is establishing a hate crime hotline. Washington rideshare drivers will be entitled to paid sick leave. And another new law will ban the sale of cosmetics tested on animals. For a full list of all the laws going into effect, text LAWS to 503-226-5088. We'll send you a link to our website. A heads up, Oregon DMV's Mall 205 office is closed all day today due to a facility issue. This closure only affects that location, but tomorrow all DMV offices will be closed for New Year's Day and will reopen Thursday, January 2nd at 8 a.m.